Have you ever stood up from a chair and felt slower than you used to? Or noticed that a task as simple as carrying groceries suddenly feels like lifting weights? You might assume it's just aging. But what if I told you it's not just about growing older? What you're feeling could be a silent, slow-burning process happening inside your body, a process that affects nearly 1 in 3 adults over 60, and yet almost no one talks about it until it's already taken hold. It's called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. And it doesn't just make you weaker. It steals your confidence, your balance, your independence. But here's the good news. It's not inevitable, and it's not too late. Because with the right knowledge, the right foods, and a few small daily shifts, you can rebuild what age has quietly tried to take away. This isn't about bodybuilders. It's about being strong enough to lift your grandkids, strong enough to walk without fear, strong enough to live on your own terms. Today, we're going to walk through 10 powerful steps that can help reverse and prevent muscle loss, starting with your next bite of food. Each one is backed by science. Each one is simple enough to begin today. And by the end of this video, you'll understand more than most doctors tell their patients about how to protect muscle mass as you age. So, if you're ready to take back your strength, starting right at your kitchen table, let's begin. Number 1. The hidden enemy, what sarcopenia really is and why it sneaks up on you. Let's start by pulling back the curtain on something that's affecting millions of people. Yet few even know its name. It's not a disease you catch. It doesn't cause pain at first, and it doesn't show up in a blood test. But little by little, it takes your strength, your energy, and your freedom. It's called sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and function, and it begins earlier than most people think. Sometimes as early as your 40s. By the time you reach 70, you could have lost 25 to 50% of your muscle mass, unless you actively fight back. So what causes it? Inactivity is a major culprit. When we stop moving, our muscles start shrinking. Poor protein intake also plays a role. Many seniors simply don't eat enough to maintain muscle. Add to that hormonal changes, inflammation, and slow recovery as we age, and it becomes a perfect storm. But here's the scary part. You might not notice sarcopenia until it's already limiting your life. Let me tell you about Walter, a retired teacher from Ohio. He's 68, sharp as a tack, mentally active, still drives himself to church every Sunday. But one day, while carrying 2 bags of groceries, he stumbled, not because he lost balance, but because his legs just didn't respond fast enough. He wasn't injured, but he was rattled. His doctor told him it wasn't his heart or his spine. It was his muscle loss. It had crept in quietly, silently, over years. And that moment, standing in his kitchen, shaken, looking at the floor, was when he realized, I may not be as strong as I thought, but I'm not too old to start rebuilding. That's the key lesson here. Muscle loss is not a natural part of aging. It's a preventable condition, if you know how to act early and act smart. And today, we're giving you those tools. Because fighting sarcopenia isn't just about lifting weights. It's also about what you eat, how you recover, and what you do daily, even in small ways. So before we dive into the foods that help rebuild and protect muscle, ask yourself this. What would your life look like if you stayed strong, independent, and mobile into your 80s and beyond? Let's take that first powerful step, starting with what's on your plate. Number 2, stop the drain. How muscle loss impacts your independence and longevity. Let's get honest about something that rarely gets said out loud. Losing muscle isn't just about feeling weaker. It's about losing your independence, one quiet day at a time. Maybe it starts with needing help to lift a box, then a step stool. Then one day you hesitate before stepping into the shower because you're not sure your knees will support you. That's not just inconvenience. That's your freedom slipping away. And the research backs it up. Studies show that people with low muscle mass are significantly more likely to suffer over falls, fractures, hospital stays, and even early death. Muscle isn't just what moves your body. It also helps regulate blood sugar, keeps your metabolism healthy, supports your immune system, and even impacts your brain function. Let that sink in. Strong muscles are linked to stronger minds and longer lives. Now, let me introduce you to Carolyn. She's 73, a grandmother of 5, and used to love gardening. But over the years, it became harder. Her arms tired quickly. Her back ached. She told herself it was just aging. Then one day, she fell while reaching for a flower pot. It wasn't the fall that scared her. It was how long it took to get back up. That moment became her turning point. With guidance from her doctor and a nutritionist, she made small but meaningful changes. More protein at breakfast, light strength exercises every other day, and simple foods like Greek yogurt, almonds, and leafy greens became daily habits. 6 months later, she was back in the garden, stronger than before. Her words? I didn't want to be remembered for needing help. I wanted to be remembered for living fully. Here's the truth. Muscle is your lifeline. It's your anchor when you get older. And if you don't protect it, you risk losing so much more than strength. So as we continue, think of every bite of food not just as fuel, but as a tool for reclaiming your energy, your balance, your confidence. And now that we understand why this matters so deeply, let's look at the first food that can help you fight back. Start with a tiny ancient grain that's stronger than it looks. Number 3, myth busting. Why protein needs increase with age, not decrease. Let's clear up one of the biggest myths in senior nutrition, the idea that older adults need less protein. It sounds logical, right? You're not growing taller. Maybe you're not as active as you once were. So surely your body doesn't need as much fuel? But the science says otherwise. In fact, your need for protein actually goes up as you get older. Here's why. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing and using protein to repair and rebuild muscle. This means that even if you're eating the same amount of protein you did at 40, your body is now using it less effectively. So to maintain or rebuild muscle, you actually have to increase your intake. Most experts now recommend 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight for older adults. That's significantly more than the old RDA number you might have grown up hearing. Let's put it into perspective. A healthy 150-pound adult, around 68 kilograms, may need between 82 and 102 grams of protein per day. That's roughly the equivalent of 3 to 4 palm-sized servings of protein-rich food daily. But here's where the mistake happens. Many seniors eat a light breakfast, toast, coffee, maybe some fruit. Lunch is often a salad or sandwich, and then a heavier dinner with some protein. This means most of their protein is backloaded at night, when the body is less efficient at muscle repair. What your body really needs is evenly spaced protein throughout the day, starting with breakfast. Let me introduce James, 65, a retired firefighter. He thought he was eating healthy. Fruit for breakfast, soup for lunch, chicken at dinner. But after experiencing frequent fatigue and muscle cramps, a nutritionist helped him restructure his meals. Greek yogurt plus eggs in the morning. Lentil soup with quinoa for lunch. Salmon and spinach for dinner. Within 8 weeks, James reported better energy, better balance, and less soreness after walks. His lesson? I thought I was eating enough, but I was feeding my habits, not my muscles. So here's your takeaway. If you're over 60, protein isn't just important. It's non-negotiable. Not just how much you eat, but when you eat it, make protein the first thing you reach for in the morning, not the last thing you add to your dinner plate. And now that we understand this foundational truth, it's time to look at what kind of protein sources actually support muscle growth, starting with a surprisingly powerful ancient grain. Number 4, quinoa versus white rice. Why this ancient grain rebuilds better than your staple side dish. For generations, white rice has been a staple in homes around the world. It's warm, familiar, and easy to digest. But when it comes to supporting muscle health, especially after 60, there's a quiet competitor that's rewriting the rules. Quinoa, this ancient grain, once revered by the Inca civilization as the mother of all grains, isn't just trendy. It's biologically superior, especially if you're fighting muscle loss. Let's break it down. White rice, high in simple carbohydrates, causes a quick blood sugar spike. Very low in protein, only about 2 grams per serving. Stripped of most nutrients during processing. Quinoa, A complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to build muscle, packed with fiber, magnesium, iron, and antioxidants. Lower glycemic index, stabilizes blood sugar, supports metabolism. In just 1 cup of cooked quinoa, you get around 8 grams of protein, plus crucial micronutrients that help muscles contract, repair, and grow. Now, here's where it gets personal. Linda, 70, had always served white rice with her meals. She didn't think twice about it. But after struggling with post-surgery recovery, her physical therapist suggested trying quinoa instead. She started by swapping in just twice a week, in stir-fries under roasted veggies or tossed into salads. 6 weeks later, she had more energy, less joint pain, and a steadier post-meal blood sugar reading. More importantly, she told us, "I didn't change my whole world, I just changed my side dish." And that's the point. This isn't about giving up everything you love. It's about upgrading small habits that serve your muscles better, bite by bite. Pro tip: cook a big batch of quinoa once a week. Store in the fridge and use it like you would rice, in soups, bowls, or even mix with eggs for a high-protein breakfast. Because when it comes to staying strong, smart swaps make all the difference. And speaking of protein-rich, muscle-repairing foods. Number 5, Greek yogurt done right, the protein bomb with a hidden trap. Greek yogurt often wears a health halo. And for good reason. It's creamy, satisfying, and packed with the kind of protein your aging muscles crave. But before you scoop it into your morning bowl or smoothie, you need to know something most people get wrong. Because not all Greek yogurt is created equal. First, the good news. Greek yogurt is made by straining regular yogurt, which removes excess liquid and concentrates the protein. Just 1 6-ounce serving can deliver 15 to 20 grams of protein, a fantastic boost for muscle repair and recovery. It also contains calcium, critical for muscle contraction and bone strength. Vitamin B12 supports nerve and muscle function. Probiotics help maintain a healthy gut, improving nutrient absorption. In short, Greek yogurt is a muscle-building powerhouse. But here's the trap. Many popular Greek yogurts, especially the flavored kinds, are loaded with added sugars. Some have more sugar than a donut. And when sugar spikes your insulin, it actually blunts your body's ability to burn fat and build lean muscle. Let's compare. Plain Greek yogurt, 6 ounces 17g protein, 0g added sugar. Flavored strawberry yogurt, 6 ounces 12g protein, 16g sugar. That's nearly 4 teaspoons of added sugar in something labeled as healthy. Barbara, 66, switched to Greek yogurt after hearing it was good for aging muscles. She chose the honey vanilla version, ate it daily for breakfast, thinking she was making a smart move. But her energy dipped mid-morning, and she gained 5 pounds in just 2 months. Her doctor reviewed her nutrition and asked one simple question. "Have you ever looked at the label?" Barbara was shocked. She swapped to plain Greek yogurt, added a handful of blueberries, chia seeds, and a drizzle of cinnamon. No sugar crashes. No guilt. Just strength. Her lesson? It wasn't the yogurt. It was a hidden sugar dressed in healthy clothes. How to do it right. Choose plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Add natural flavor. Fresh fruit, a dash of cinnamon or chopped almonds. For extra protein, mix in collagen powder or a spoon of nut butter. Greek yogurt, when done right, is one of the cleanest, most powerful protein sources available, especially for older adults trying to preserve muscle and stay lean. So now that your breakfast bowl is smarter, let's talk about a dinner option that fights inflammation and fuels recovery. Straight from the sea. Number 6, salmon, the muscle recovery superfood that also protects your heart. If your muscles had a best friend, it would be salmon. Why? Because this vibrant, flavorful fish isn't just a dinner option. It's a therapeutic tool in your fight against muscle loss, fatigue, and inflammation. Why salmon is a powerhouse. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation. Crucial for helping muscles heal faster after activity or injury. Loaded with high-quality protein. About 22 grams per 3-ounce serving. A natural source of vitamin D, which helps maintain bone density and supports muscle strength. packed with vitamin B12, essential for energy production and nerve function. Contains selenium, which protects your cells from oxidative damage. Together, these nutrients create the perfect environment for repairing, preserving, and fueling muscle mass, especially in older adults. Inflammation, the silent muscle killer. As we age, chronic low-level inflammation becomes more common and more dangerous. When muscles are inflamed, they break down faster and rebuild slower. And without proper nutrition, the cycle gets worse. That's why salmon isn't just food, it's a recovery strategy. Meet Julia, 69. Julia had hip surgery last year. After physical therapy, she was doing the work, but still felt sore and slow to recover. Her doctor asked about her diet. She realized she hadn't eaten fatty fish in years. So she started eating baked salmon twice a week. Within a month, she noticed a difference. Less soreness after walking, better sleep, more energy during the day. Her takeaway? It wasn't just the exercises. It was what I was feeding my body to rebuild. How to do it right. Aim for 2 servings of fatty fish per week, salmon, sardines, trout, or mackerel. Cook it gently, bake, steam, or grill with lemon and herbs. Pair with anti-inflammatory sides like roasted vegetables or quinoa. If fresh salmon is pricey, frozen wild-caught or canned varieties are great alternatives. And if you're not a fan of fish, talk to your doctor about a high-quality omega-3 supplement. But food first is always best. Your muscles don't just need movement. They need support, protection, and fuel. And salmon brings all 3 to the table, along with a side of heart health. Speaking of protein perfection, let's talk about one of the simplest, most misunderstood foods in your fridge. A food that could either build you up or sell you short, depending on how you eat it. Number 7, eggs, nature's perfect package. If you eat the whole thing, if you ask a nutritionist to name one of the most complete, affordable, and accessible muscle foods on the planet, they might hand you an egg. It's easy to overlook because it's so common. But don't be fooled. Eggs are one of nature's most perfect protein packages. And they've earned that reputation for good reason. Why eggs matter. 1 large egg contains about 6 to 7 grams of high-quality protein. It also delivers all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to repair and rebuild muscle. Plus, vitamin D supports bone health, B12 nervous system, choline brain, and muscle function, and selenium cell protection. Eggs are compact, versatile, and deeply nourishing, especially for older adults who may struggle with appetite or chewing larger portions of meat. But here's the catch. Many people are still throwing away the yolk, thinking it's unhealthy. That outdated fear, based on cholesterol myths from decades ago, can rob you of some of the egg's most valuable nutrients. In fact, nearly half the protein and most of the vitamins and minerals are in the yolk. So when you toss it, you're tossing away the power. Modern research confirms that eating whole eggs in moderation does not increase heart disease risk for most healthy adults. Instead, it increases satiety, muscle recovery, and nutrient density, the very things aging bodies need most. Meet Don, age 72. Don had always separated his eggs, whites only, for years. It was a habit from his cholesterol-conscious era. But after a nutrition class at his local senior center, he learned the truth. He switched to 2 whole eggs with spinach and tomatoes for breakfast. Within a month, he said his morning fatigue dropped, and he stayed fuller longer. His new phrase? I used to eat egg whites. Now I eat whole eggs and feel whole again. How to do it right. Eat whole eggs, not just the whites. Aim for 2 to 3 eggs as part of the balanced meal, not fried in heavy oils. Pair with greens or whole grains for a complete breakfast. Cooking tips: soft-boiled, poached, or lightly scrambled in olive oil. Eggs aren't just for breakfast, they're for strength, stability, and smart aging. So next time you crack an egg, don't toss the yellow. That's where the gold is, for your muscles, your mind, and your momentum. And now, let's move from the skillet to the garden, because our next muscle-supporting food grows quietly in the soil, but delivers mighty power to your body. Number 8, spinach and leafy greens. More than just fiber, they recharge your muscles. When we talk about building or maintaining muscle, Most people immediately think of protein shakes, meat, or gym workouts. What they rarely think of are the greens sitting quietly on the side of the plate. But don't let their silence fool you, because leafy greens, especially spinach, are some of the most essential muscle supporters out there. What makes spinach and its leafy cousins so powerful? Spinach is loaded with magnesium, helps with muscle contraction and relaxation. Iron carries oxygen to your muscles, boosting endurance and performance. Vitamin K supports bone health, helping muscles anchor effectively. Antioxidants like lutein and beta-carotene reduce inflammation and oxidative stress. Vitamin C supports collagen formation and helps repair tissues. And yes, fiber, which improves digestion and nutrient absorption. The real superpower? These nutrients don't work alone. They work in harmony to create an internal environment where muscles can function, recover, and thrive. But here's what often gets missed. Many older adults avoid leafy greens because they think it's just fiber, or they worry it might upset their stomach. But when properly prepared, greens are not only gentle, they're deeply rejuvenating. And even just 1 cup of cooked spinach packs a serious nutritional punch without weighing you down. Let's talk about Carla, 74. Carla struggled with nighttime leg cramps. She was active, hydrated, and getting enough protein, but the cramps persisted. A dietitian reviewed her meals and noticed one thing: almost no leafy greens. So she started small, sautéed spinach with eggs for breakfast twice a week, then a side salad before dinner. Within 3 weeks, the cramps stopped. Her magnesium and potassium levels had improved, and so did her sleep. Her reflection? I thought greens were for digestion. I didn't know they were medicine for my muscles. How to do it right. Cook your greens lightly. Sauté with olive oil and garlic to enhance absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Rotate your greens: spinach, kale, arugula, Swiss chard, collard greens. Add omelets, smoothies, soups, grain bowls. Pair with vitamin C-rich foods, like lemon juice or bell peppers, to boost iron absorption. Don't underestimate what a bowl of sautéed spinach can do for your strength, recovery, and resilience. It's not just salad, it's strategy. So now that we've powered up with plants, let's move to something small, crunchy, and surprisingly mighty. The snack that doesn't just satisfy hunger, it actively repairs and protects. Number 9, almonds and nuts. Small snack, big support, if you don't overdo it. When it comes to snacking, few things feel as satisfying or as healthy as a handful of nuts. They're crunchy, convenient, and packed with nutrition. But when it comes to muscle health, almonds and other nuts aren't just a better snack. They're a small but mighty ally in your fight against age-related muscle loss. Why almonds are muscle-friendly? Protein: 1 ounce of almonds, about 23 nuts, provides 6 grams of plant-based protein. Magnesium supports muscle function, helps regulate cramps and spasms. Vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects muscle cells from oxidative stress. Healthy fats aid in hormone production and reduce inflammation, supporting recovery. B vitamins, especially niacin and riboflavin, which help your body convert food into usable energy. Together, these nutrients help your body build, protect, and sustain lean muscle, even between meals. But here's the important part. Nuts are energy-dense, which means they're healthy but easy to overeat. That handful can quietly become 2 or 3, and before you know it, you consume 300 to 500 extra calories. And for those trying to maintain muscle without gaining excess fat, that can backfire fast. Take Steve, 67. He started eating almonds every day after his doctor recommended more healthy fats. But he didn't measure. He snacked straight from the bag while watching TV. Within 2 months, he'd gained weight, felt more sluggish, and couldn't figure out why. A registered dietitian helped him realize he was eating nearly 600 calories of almonds a day, thinking it was harmless. Now, Steve portions 15 almonds into a small container every morning and pairs them with Greek yogurt or fruit. His energy is back, his weight is stable, and his muscles thriving. His takeaway: nuts are great until they become your entire meal. How to do it right. Stick to 1 serving per day, about 12 to 15 almonds or a small clove handful. Choose raw or dry roasted unsalted varieties. Combine with a source of protein or fiber for better satiety, e.g., apple plus almond butter or almonds plus yogurt. Rotate your nuts, walnuts, omega-3s, pistachios, potassium, cashews, zinc. Nuts aren't just snacks. They're strategic tools for muscle protection. But like all good things, balance is everything. So if you're looking for a smart, satisfying, muscle-supporting bite, go ahead and grab a handful, just not the whole bag. Now, let's bring it all home with the food that tops nearly every list for building and maintaining strong, lean muscle. Number 10, chicken breast and lean meats, your muscle-building foundation. Let's be honest, when it comes to muscle-friendly meals, few foods are as straightforward, versatile, and reliable as chicken breast. It may not have the trend factor of quinoa or the superfood status of salmon, but in the world of aging strong, chicken remains a cornerstone of nutrition. Why chicken breast leads the pack? Lean, high-quality protein. A 3-ounce serving provides 26 grams of protein with minimal fat. Complete amino acid profile, essential for muscle repair, recovery, and growth. Low in saturated fat, supports heart health alongside muscle maintenance. Rich in B vitamins, especially B6 and niacin, which help your body convert food into usable energy. Easy to cook, prep in bulk, and pair with any meal of the day. In short, it's dependable fuel for your body's most important engine, your muscles. But don't let its simplicity fool you. What matters just as much as what you eat is how you prepare it. Fried chicken loaded with breadcrumbs and oils? That's not helping your muscle health. It's working against it. Your goal is lean, clean, and flavorful, not greasy and heavy. Let's talk about Marcus, 61. After retiring, Marcus started hitting the gym again to regain strength. He was working out consistently, but saw very little progress. Then a trainer asked, "What's your protein source?" Marcus shrugged, mostly deli meat and fast food chicken sandwiches. When he switched to home-cooked chicken breast, baked with olive oil, garlic, and herbs, everything changed. In 8 weeks, he gained noticeable strength, reduced belly fat, and slept better. But more than that, he said, I started respecting my body, not just moving it, but feeding it right. How to do it right. Choose skinless chicken breast, turkey breast, or lean cuts of pork and beef. Bake, grill, steam, or stir-fry with heart-healthy oils and fresh herbs. Avoid deep frying or processed meats high in sodium and preservatives. Prep in advance. Cook 3 to 4 portions at once and store for easy access. If you don't eat meat, aim for complete plant proteins, like lentils plus brown rice, tofu, or tempeh. The key isn't the specific source. It's the consistent quality of what you put on your plate. Because at the end of the day, muscle isn't built in the gym alone. It's built every time you sit down to eat. And now that we've walked through these 10 powerful, muscle-loving foods, let's bring it all together with one final reflection that could shape the next decade of your health.